All right, everybody, welcome back. It is semifinals, quarterfinals, and finals day, and we're going to start off with what we could call a final match for sure. Jayson Shaw versus FEDOR GORST. Both of these guys playing, in my opinion, Frank, at the ultimate level this week from what I've seen. And along with me is my man, Frank Miletti, PA Pro-Am Pool.
How's it going, everybody? This could be a final at a U.S. Open, European Open, any great tournament around the world. This is an incredibly stacked field at this event, especially in the top 8.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I think this is the best field that he's ever had in the history of the event. And the only reason I say that is the level of play has gone up so much. I mean, we have a ton of WNT players here. Jayson Shaw to break. It's a race to 10. 9 is racked on the spot. 3 foul rule is in effect. All ball fouls is in effect. Jump cues are allowed. Looking to make the 1 in the left middle. Oh, not the bad kiss. Here's another look. You got to kiss off the bottom of the 9 twice here. Make it 3 times. Frankie, looks like he could roll out. I think he's got to roll out to this situation here. Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably down here on the lower right diamond somewhere is a good position. Jayson at such a high level, though, he could figure something else out. But I think this is the position right here. You know, the 8 is kind of glaring at you coming off the 3, right? It's a big ball. The 5 is also a big ball, but your speed still has to be there. FEDOR going to take it, most likely not returning this.
He's got 2 big balls to hide behind here. He's got the 5 and the 8.
Yeah, and I think that's, if he's giving it back, it's a little surprising, but it just lends to how difficult this is with speed, because the problem is, Frank, either way you go, if you play the 3 up to the left side, you've only got the bare 8 to get behind, and it's a little too thin to play the 3 one rail behind the right side of the 8 and use the 5. So really pretty touchy and just one ball to get behind here from what it looks like. You know, Jayson Shaw just told me on the way out. He said, you know how good I'm playing. He said, these guys actually know how good I'm playing as well. He told me he's going to win this event. And I don't hear him say that very often.
Well, he played incredibly strong last year when he won. Trying to be the repeat champion.
Yeah, I think he can do it. He's got a few players to get through. And this is my pick that he's playing right now, FEDOR GORST. Probably going cross-side with this.
I had picked Ecklet. I'm still going to stay with that pick.
I think it's a great pick. I think he's on the cusp of winning a major again as well. And listen, I don't care what anybody says. We can call this a major with the field that it is. I'm going to call it a major, and I don't think anybody has a problem with that. You come here and sit here for the last 4 days and watch these guys play pool, beat each other's brains, and you'll realize that this is a major. He's got the 7 he could lay up behind unless it's just a little too full to the 3, meaning can't really cut it to that line. Yeah, it might be a little too full to the 3. The 3 was up near the cue ball a bit more. That shot would be on, but long and straight here, Frank. He's just got to butter it in. Okay, this is off by some margin.
Yeah, hit a little bit of the right side of the 3. Scott, I can't also help but notice that Team Europe has a major showing here right now. 4 of the current Team Europe players are in this event. Now Katie, Francisco, Ecklet, and Jayson.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. And you know what else is strong is Alcade and Ruiz, both from the same country, both very good friends. So that's well pointed out, Frank. But why am I not surprised?
FEDOR not to a good position on the 5.
Yeah, he might just go short side, Frankie, up there to the top right. I don't think the 8's really a problem. He just doesn't want to land straight on the 5. I don't know that he can dig in. He might be able to just dig in and go up to the left. Just doesn't want to land straight. It's perfect.
Got a good spin off the left rail down for the 6 ball.
Yeah, and this is all off the long ball that Shaw missed. He cut it into the short rail. Definitely nothing easy to start out with, but Gorst going to take advantage. And another thing, Frankie, it's a Gorst break coming up. Potentially a 2-game lead. For now, a 1-game lead.
Hey everyone, so if you love pool, then you need to check out PA Pro-Am Pool on YouTube. Like and subscribe now.
Yeah, good stuff there. Yeah, this could definitely be a U.S. Open final. There's no question about that. This man here was in the U.S. Open final last year. Just happened to get the W. What a year he had. The Worlds, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. He did struggle with the break a little bit yesterday. Looking to get the 1 down on the right side here. Well, he didn't struggle there. Just needs the cue ball to free up. I believe it did, Frank. He is good. All systems go.
Seven looks pretty clean also with the 9. They're kind of locked up. It looks like, yes, it does have it in a pocket. You just got looking at the field too. There's 3 U.S. Open winners currently in this event.
I know FSR is one of them.
Jayson and FEDOR.
Yeah, Jayson and FEDOR. Yeah, so it's hard to tell if the 7 goes. I think it does, but he might go towards it. Oh, this speed is really, really good. Listen, when you're crossing the ball back and forth with a low ball like that, and you know how big the 6 is, and you get within this range, it's a really good sign for Gorst. Jayson knows that FEDOR's playing some of the best pool he's ever played. I think to your point, Frank, the 7 does play. Because he doesn't seem to be too worried about it. Just 2 rails out towards the center here.
Federer has such a clean delivery on his stroke.
Yeah, I think out of all the players, probably the cleanest. And something that you really want to look forward to with him is the follow-through. Even when he's rolling the ball, his follow-through, you see it? Like, people don't realize how difficult that is to actually do or make habit. It's easy to follow through with power. But when you're rolling the ball, very few people can follow through like this.
On that follow through, Scott, that gives him the maximum amount of spin or whatever if he wants to follow or come back.
Yeah, exactly. So what a follow through will do for you, as long as it gets consistent, is you can get a lot more action on the cue ball with less power. Basically getting the most out of the cue ball with the least amount of effort. And we have ways to teach this, and you can show it in person, and the evidence is 100% palpable. It's real. Not the start Jayson Shaw would have liked. But it is the start Gorst wanted. 2-0.
All the fans are starting to file into the room here. Moved a bunch of tables last night and created a little 4-table arena. See all the fans here. Slightly dark in the arena. They want to keep a nice ambiance.
Yeah, I tell you what, Alan Hopkins really has done a great job with the Open NineBall Professional Players Championship. I was stunned at all the people here this week. It literally took me about 30 minutes to park every day, and I still parked illegally. All right, a big break coming up for Shaw. You got to feel like he needs a look pretty soon. Well, this is a look. This is a look. Did not drop. Take a look at this. Gets a flick off the 5. I thought it was in the drink. And he's got to come with a big jump shot here. Unless he wants to roll the 9 in on a push out. Boy, this is all or nothing, Frank.
You know, it seems like Jayson excels when it's the all or nothing now. Every time he has his back against the wall, he seems to just come with the shot sometimes.
Yeah, this is a big one, though. That 9 is so deep, bud. I don't know that he can roll the 9 in directly. I think the 7 has him, so he's going to be forced to go at this. If the 8 wasn't there, there's 2 ways at the 9. And the other problem is if you go to like swerve the 8 and carry him towards the 9, it's real easy with that. All right, he's going airborne. Buckle your seatbelts. Caught it fat. Not what he wanted. Laid up for Gorst. And no trouble here.
Since you have not been to the Expo for the past couple of years, Scott, besides the Pro Players Championship, what has been your favorite memory this week?
Spending time with you, Frankie.
Aw.
We haven't had a lot of time to do anything else, but I really have enjoyed being in here. I think it's I think it's been one of the smoothest shows that we could do. I know that we went off air yesterday. It was definitely not on Digital Pool's side or Frank's side. We didn't even know it, but we've been commentating since day one, nonstop. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed talking to all the people, seeing the booths. One of the best things for me is watching these players start to really become businessmen, building their own brands, buying their own brands, you know. Skyler Woodward, Billy Thorpe with Action 24/7. Then FEDOR with his brand, I think Triple 60 and everything that he's doing. Just pretty good stuff. Jayson Shaw as well. Yeah, and this is starting to get away from Jayson. He's really only had 2 looks, and both of them were very difficult. But you really got to predict every time, Frank, that when Gorst is breaking, he's going to run out. You just, in Jayson's mind, I'm speaking, if you're thinking like Jayson, he's thinking every time Gorst comes to the table as far as breaking, he's going to win that game. Well, now in this position, you have to probably start to change that mindset and just hope for some type of a look that's a little better than the last 2. Classic Billiards in South Florida, Dave Bartosiak and his wife Leah doing a lot for pool. Frankie knows him. He's a great guy, great for the camera, livens pool rooms up. Big fan of the World NineBall Tour and Match Room. Thank you for all you do, Dave.
I got to get myself down to Classic. He also sponsors one of our local players here, Brianna Miller.
Great guy.
Yes, I got to get myself down there one day and see his place.
That's what I was noticing yesterday. He was coming short with the 1. He did get a ball down, and he's going to have a look. So once again, Gorst getting the looks after the break. Yeah, what's he doing here? Is he going into the pink or just smoothing this? There's plenty of room. Great speed. He's got a good look at the 2 here. Everything opens up. There is no trouble. It's another thing about Gorst break. He gets into the balls with so much power. The spreads are usually real good unless he gets funny kisses in the middle of the table.
A little bit on the left side of the 3-ball, Scott, so let's avoid the 5.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Did he really just
need
flip
to?
9? Jayson not going to be thrilled with that, but Gorst will take it. 4-0. This is 9-ball. WNT rules. You do not have to call the 9. And there you see it. It's a 2-stage event. We are into stage 2, obviously. Double elimination, stage 1, single elimination, stage 2, race to 10, WNT break box. It's a special break box, a little smaller than the traditional one. Rack your own, alternate the break, and all ball fouls. Thank you to all the sponsors as well. Shaw, not going to waste any time. Needs to get a look here. Oh no, this is not what the doctor ordered. I think this went straight in, Frank, just off the 9. And that's something that continues to happen. When we see these guys scratch on the break, it's either off the top side or the bottom side of the 9.
Yeah, Jayson's just getting a lot of unfortunate luck early here in the morning. You know, with this race to 10 now, he does have an opportunity to kind of turn the ship around, but it's a tall order against FEDOR.
Yeah, I don't see any trouble at all here. And talking about the comeback, you know, it can happen. I mean, Pat Fleming's got 20-some years or 30-some years of stats, probably, to be realistic, probably 40-some years of stats, and he has clearly told me, along with Mark Wilson, that they've done stats over time, and excuse me, I've not seen these stats, but I would like to see them over time, that they've done these stats with an alternate break format in a, let's say, a race to 9 versus a winner break format in a race to 9. It's almost identical. So all that could tell me there is momentum shifts within the match, right? Like Frank just said, Jayson really hasn't had any luck. He had a long 4-ball in the beginning, but it was really awkward. Since then, nothing gone his way. The same thing can happen to Gorst. That's just how it goes.
You know, Scott, you touched on Pat Fleming. When Moses was filling the arc, Pat Fleming was there providing statistics of what animals were there.
This young man here just does not look like he is going to make any type of mistake. Leading 5 games to 0.
Hey guys, check out integritycues.com, offering high-end cues, production cues, pre-owned cues, cases, and accessories. integritycues.com.
Nothing on the break here for FEDOR. I think Jayson with a tough starting shot. Jayson's going to look to edge the 1-ball. Come around and try to put the cue on the bottom rail. And play left side of the ball. I'm down 3. He's going to use that 3 and 4 as a blocker. And lays it all the way down on the bottom rail.
Yeah, very good speed. It's a long couple of balls to get over with the jump cue. The one is off that back rail pretty good. Boy, he'd really love to kick 2 rails behind it and just hold. Very tough to judge, though, at the line he's on, so he might be considering some type of a jump.
think that was the first break that Federer had where he didn't make a ball.
Yeah, well, he's been struggling with the one at times, which is a bit surprising because he's one of the best at getting the one down. Covered a couple of matches of his this week, and when he does miss the one, he's missing it quite low. Where is he trying to go here with the one and the cue ball? Boy, I'll tell you what, this is going to finish tough. Jayson quickly down.
Seems like a little bit of a frustration shot there, Scott.
Well, I mean, he's human as well, right?
Of course.
But look at this shot right here. He just two-rail kicked it, stuck the cue ball perfect. The one kisses another ball. Comes back over in front of the corner. Now, I don't know that Gorst can get to it. But definitely, well pointed out, Frank. There's no doubt he's a little frustrated, but don't think that it has anything to do with his accuracy, because I guarantee you that's not the case. Maybe looking to double kiss this in. That would be I don't think he had to double kiss it in. So another blow to Shaw.
This match seems to be very one-sided right now, getting away from Jayson. Federer really just all offense right from the start.
Yeah, I don't believe that we've witnessed a mistake from Gorst, other than the dry break right there. At this level, it's to be expected, really. But I think at times we put too much expectation on these guys.
Well, it's really amazing with them being here all week and the amount of fan service that both of them have done with autographs, challenge matches, pictures. I mean, and they loved it. You definitely can tell that they were incredibly excited about it, but it also is going to take a toll on you when you're playing.
It's a great point. You're absolutely right. It's demanding over time. There is nothing to talk about here other than do us a favor and share the stream. WNTTV.com, that's worldwide. And then digitalpool.net/SBX.
If I could real quick, Scott, I also want to say thank you to WNTTV for myself and my company, PA Pro-Am. It's a very big honor to be on the world's biggest platform for pool, being involved in WNT. So to all the guys over there, Adam, Jake.
Great people.
Great guys. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the cog. It makes the machine turn.
Yeah, they are non-stop over there. Great guys. Phoebe, Henry Jones, Jake, Jack, Adam. Obviously, the boss, Emily, who was here.
Yeah.
Gorst, 6-0. I don't think anybody could have predicted this.
If you would have told me this score last night, I would have laughed. Also want to give a thank you to all of our stream sponsors this week. Integrity Cues, Crossroad Cues, Black Blade Carbon. Also to my staff here, Joe McGee, behind the scenes here, has just been really taking care of everything here. Me, the freezer, Brad for coming in, such a great guy helping us out. And of course, Scott and Jeremy, adding the class and expertise needed for these events.
Yeah, big action into the 9, but once again, and there you have Take another look. Big action into the 9. The 1 was down, actually hitting the break shot very well. Left with absolutely no look. And stuff like that over time, that's the little things that will get to you. We're into game number 7. He's really had the long ball in game number 1 to look at, and that's it. And that's probably why he's looking at taking this kick on. Oh, mine. He hit it absolutely on the button. I mean, we're talking just a tick thin. Rewarded with a little bit of safety.
Yeah, it's really Jayson's first reward this matchup. He's been kind of kicking and just really kind of trying to hold off Fedor's onslaught.
Yeah, and I think you kind of got to do stuff like that, right? When you're trailing 6-0 or whatever it might be, when the momentum's running in Fedor's favor, I think you've got to kind of change things up a little. Can't fault him for kicking at that ball. Wow, what a play. And this was by design. You know, when they were first kicking that ball right there, the way he did, I thought they were mishitting it. This is a few years ago, because you typically don't want to catch the bottom side of that ball full. These guys play it full to get the separation, and they stun the cue ball to the bottom rail and over, so they avoid the scratch as well.
It's got to be an incredibly tough shot to master, Scott, because, you know, as amateurs, they tell us to kick the ball full because you don't want to scratch. And
right.
so to be able to master that kind of a shot and a stroke is really, really something special.
Yeah, it really is, and they spent a lot of time working on that shot. You know, these guys spend hundreds of hours, often on a weekly basis. Shaw looked to play some type of a safety there and did not get any cover. 2 running into the 6, and really just a matter of picking up the pieces again. The 5 will lay okay because of the stop angle right here. I actually drew that ball a little bit more than I thought. It shouldn't be a problem. It's got plenty of angle.
I'll look to punch off the left rail right there, right, Scott?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it would have a little more natural if he just stopped. I think he was actually trying to stop and just got into it just a touch. It's not going to be an issue, I don't think. Yeah, he's going to be a little short. He'll be all right. 6 plays in either corner. Plays on either side.
Fedor really looking to go around that 8 ball.
Yeah, he was looking at it. I felt like he could draw out of this, Frankie, but I don't know. He was definitely looking at that line. I'm going to tell with the cueing. Yeah, so I think he is going around the 8. A little rub off the 9. What's that going to do? Does he have a pocket?
Looks like he might have the left side of the pocket, Scott.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to tell. He definitely has the right side pocket. Up and down, extremely thin. Ooh.
Takes a little point off there going in there.
Yeah. Caught it a bit thick.
As we were saying, the rolls seem to still be going Fedor's way.
Yeah, I agree, but tell you what, he does not look like he's in the mood to make any mistakes, that's for certain. Gorst leading 7-0.
CrossroadCues.com offers hassle-free, zero-interest financing on the most popular cue brands like Samsara, McWhorter, Nitty, and Southwest. With lightning-fast shipping, your cue will arrive in time for your next match. Buy, sell, trade, and consignment are also available at CrossroadCues.com. Don't wait. Contact us today.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Jayson Shaw, there is not much you can do but sit and wait and really start to hope. I think that's what it comes down to, because now he's getting the one down. He might have got into those a bit more, and I think that's by design, because when he's missing the one short, he's catching it a bit thin. So slight adjustment by Gorst on the break.
Looks like Federer has a couple options here on the 2-ball.
Yeah, I think he's in a little bit of a tricky position, but I agree with a couple of the options.
Scott, when you have a lead like this, would you entertain cutting the ball and go for the offensive shot?
I'll tell you what, I guarantee it's crossed his mind. The problem with this position right here is he just doesn't want to bring the 2 down like anywhere past the 8 or the 5, because Shaw could go at the 9. So when he does do this, and he's going to be forced to, he's got to use the pink or the 7, I would think. The only problem with the cut, Frank, is that the cue ball really, I don't think you can hold the cue ball for the pink. Really trying to use the 7 here. I think it helped Gorst that the 2 didn't get by the 8. Jayson already looking at the 9 with the cue ball. Yeah, look at this.
He's going to get no shot on the 4.
Literally no shot. I don't know that he can get to the left side of the table here, so he's going to try and spin around and dig. This is extremely tough and easy to catch thin. He's overturned it. Just not going Jayson's way. And that gives you an idea of the level of players that we have, because I think most of our viewers know that Shaw could do the exact same thing to Gorst. If you're sitting here watching what we're watching, it's just really a matter of not getting any looks. It's not like he's doing anything really wrong. He's broke well. He's just not had any looks. Credit to Gorst, though. Every look he's had, he's taken advantage of.
You know, Scott, I've talked to some of these players, and I know you have too. The ability for them to be able to shake off a bad set is really, just a testament to their mental toughness, where they have a bad set in the tournament or early on, they can come back and, change their mindset for the next round. Unfortunately for this one, if Jayson has a bad set, he's not going to be playing another one, at least today.
Yeah, and I think that's what's probably got to start creeping in your mind, right? You've played great all week. You've pretty much run everybody over. Now all of a sudden we're into single a limb and I can't get a look. But you make your own destiny, and Gorst, I felt like from the beginning he was hungry to win this event. Didn't make it out to Bosnia. Health-related issues. Said he's feeling much better. And the reason I picked Gorst to win this tournament, really because I had a couple other guys in mind, but the first match I watched him play, he was a heavy favorite, but he never took anything for granted. He was really bearing down. I said, man, this guy's really hungry to win. Absolutely insane, to be honest with you. This 9 away from going up 8 games to 0 versus a guy that's playing great pool, Jayson Shaw. Wow. Who could have predicted?
So, speaking of predictions and numbers, Scott, we take a look at the payouts for this event. So these are the updated payouts with the added sponsorship money from yesterday.
Yeah, Frankie, you made this ad as well. I mean, you are a genius with these ads. I call you from Arizona and you make them in 20 minutes. $15,000 up top, $9,000 for second, $7,000 for third. And what I like about this event is they're paying pretty heavy to the 16th spot. They increased a lot of these positions by 500 yesterday. 13th through 16th, though, you're going to get $3,000. Not bad. Jayson, what can you do? Oh, and the 1 does not get down. It's going to be dry. Gorst does not have a clean look at the 1. Yeah, really trying to figure out where he would want to go here because he wants to keep Shaw off of any look. Yeah, looking to push to a jump position here.
As FEDOR plays the rollout, I just want to force Jayson to go airborne. He could make a kick at it, Scott, but it's just, at that point you're just going defensive, hoping for a leave, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and Jayson's giving this back. I wonder if it's an issue with the reach. I thought he would take this. I didn't think he wanted to allow FEDOR to stay in control. So it must have something to do with the reach. Jayson, not a short guy by any means. He's 6 foot. Gorst, I think, around my height, around 6'2", 6'3". Okay, we talk about it a lot with the jump cue. Typically when these guys miss with it, it's on the thin side. It's easy when you're highly elevated for that back arm to kind of push out a little bit and come in at an angle on the cue ball, putting unintended side spin on it.
But even on this guy, though, look at where the 1 ball lands for Jayson.
Yeah, he's had enough. Oh, look at that. The 1, I thought the 1 was in. Yeah, I don't know what it would feel like to be down 8 games to 0 versus FEDOR GORST. I really don't want to know.
No.
But it couldn't be a lot of fun, I don't think.
I think if I play him, I would probably find that out pretty easily.
That makes 2 of us, buddy. Okay, he does have a pocket here. He might just play the 7 since it's such a big ball. He could just stop right there. Looks like he's going to go forward here. Figured he might stop. The 2 could come over to the top left.
So it's saying that's would the 2 ball coming to the top left? Is that a shot that when you're shooting that you are playing for that? So you're going to hit the cue ball a little firmer to get it to roll to the right for you?
Yeah, he would just hit this with a little more speed, just like so. And I think the thing about that is, too, he kind of automatically had position on the 3 if the 2 happened to trickle in the top left. That's the only reason I touched on. Maybe that's the way he'll play it. Initially, he looked like he just wanted to roll it, which wasn't bad either. That is a decel. We do see it at times from Gorst, but that was a pretty big decel right there. Almost like he didn't even realize the 3 was on the table.
Yeah,
Kind of stunning.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him because now he just walked around and looked at the 4 again. I guess if you're Federer, 99.9% perfect play is okay. We'll give him a pass on this one mistake.
Oh, absolutely. And pros hit the ball bad once, 2, 3 times a game, but typically they overcome it by making the ball. This will be a perfect example.
A little bit on the thin side now of the 4.
Yeah, Frank, I'm wondering if he can wrap around the top right corner below the 8, just below the left side, and maybe track down between the 6 and 9. I don't know how the cloth is playing. Hard to tell how thin this is. It's pretty thin.
Could the 6 come into play here, Scott, with the thin cut? Coming a big ball coming off that second rail.
Yeah, definitely could come into play. Yeah, 3 rails this route. Watch out, the 9, a big ball this way. I think he is just snookered.
Yeah, might have to go rail first into the 5.
Could swerve it. Could jump it. Could go rail first. Immediately going to the jump cue. A little surprised. I think we've got a good angle here at this. He's not considering the swerve. But I guess the jump is so small. He's a heavy favorite.
Scott, on shots like that, when you're jumping into a ball that's so close to the rail, what is the key element there to not make the cue hop off the table?
Well, he's so good at knowing his distances, but once again, he overcut it, Frank.
Yeah.
So maybe the back arm coming out just a little bit. This is actually the first shot Jayson Shaw has had since game number 1. He'll take that. And believe me, it's an important. You're good. It's an important game, right? He does not want to catch the goose egg.
Yeah, it's like a confidence builder rack almost. Get one, and I believe it's going to be Jason's break.
Yeah, it will make front page news if Gorst were to beat Shaw 10-0. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen.
Jayson playing up to the crowd a little bit after that one. There we have 8-1 on the score. FEDOR GORST over Jayson Shaw.
And here you see it, guys. Frankie might be going down there. Pre-sale started the 7th. The initial sale started the 9th, August 5th through the 10th, Caribe Royale. Same venue as the Mosconi Cup. There is a ton to do there. Frankie was there. I was there. It's awesome down there.
Yeah, I don't think you have to twist my arm too much to go down to Florida, Scott.
What's up, everybody? This is Dave from Classic Billiards down here in South Florida. We do things a little bit differently here compared to your old pool.
There's the big break again by Gorst. What's the 2 do? He's not going to have a look at the 2. Yeah, really kind of evaluating here. It seems like he could come behind the ball if he'd like. Maybe send it down here past the 9, but if he could get it down to the bottom rail, it'd be even better. Does he have a sliver of it? Wow. Wow. I believe he played it all along. Look at this layout. Very odd.
Yeah, that's 6 coming into play now after that cut shot. Take a look at that again.
Yeah, what an amazing play there. It felt like he just had a sliver of the 2 and he used it to his benefit, that's for certain. The orange 5 in the top right. Elevating just a bit here or staying level, I guess. Looks like he's elevated just a touch. Yeah, I think you want to catch the 7 coming out, Frank.
Gorsby looking to maybe weld the cue ball onto the 4. Trying to push the 3 into the rail, Scott.
Yeah, he's looking to see if the 4 plays in the corner as well. He might entertain the bank, but I don't believe it does. It looks tight. Yeah, I don't know, Frankie. I don't know how hard it is to weld him to the 4 and 6 here. He'd like to be able to do that. But I don't think he's gonna. Almost feel like he's just going to take the bank on to the top right.
He's giving it a lot of thought here.
Well, he just looked at your shot. He just looked at, I think, floating the 3 to the left long rail and just kind of floating down behind the pink. But I just feel like it's not quite on. He's definitely going to contact the pink if he floats the 3 to the left long rail. Yeah, he tried to make the bank, and he did. From our perspective, it does not look like this 4 plays to the top right.
Yeah, I agree.
Pretty good, Frankie. He's got the 9 as cover as well. Doesn't really want to come to the top rail here, but forced to because of the 9. Look at this kick.
Jayson goes into the 4. Pretty full, kicks him down to the bottom left.
Yeah, he's going to stay aggressive. Wow, very surprising. I love the decision. I think that's a sign of big discipline and not as frustrated as we might have felt. Thought for sure he'd stay aggressive there, but kind of tricked us.
Got a couple of tied up scores here. David Alcady and Lucas are tied up 3-3.
That's how close the cue ball is to the 8. Yeah, and that's how he's lost it. Just really had to worry about getting over the 8. The control was a whole different story. He's so good at it.
That close is, man, that's tough.
Yeah, I agree. Length of the table. So it was, without a doubt, the correct play by Shaw to tuck him under the 8.
This is what we were talking about earlier, Scott, where Jason's now looking to just get one rack at a time and just keep chipping away.
You know, sometimes it just isn't your time, but I know a bunch of the people that cover these guys. I know you know. I know Jayson's playing some of the best pool of his career, but when it's not your time, and it tells you how great these players are, it's not your time. I mean, Gorst can do the same thing to, Gorst can do the same thing to Kachi. Kachi can do this to Shaw. Shaw can do this to them. It's just the way it is at this level.
We have 8-2 on the score. Let's check some of the live scores going on in this Elite 8.
Yeah, look how tight some of this stuff is. Just like you mentioned, Fahan and Mora, 4 apiece. Ruiz, up 5-3 versus Kachi. Uh-oh, Frankie, that's your horse.
That's my horse, yeah.
Long way to go there.
And just like exactly like you were saying, how like you could pick any one of these top 8, and if they won, there wouldn't be a lot of surprise or shock.
All right. Really hasn't had a look after the break. He needs one now. More than ever. Kind of crazy there, right? 1. Really not even close to the side when we talk about making the 1 on the side. Look at the layout. Left for Gorst.
He's definitely going to be happy coming to the table with a clean shot at the 1 and the 2. Just sitting in the pocket for repositional play.
Yeah, can't he just stay up there in the top right corner and take his medicine on the 2? With where the 3 lays. The 3 of the 4 could get a little funny. You want to stay to the right side of the 3 here. You don't really have to want to get on the left end of the table for the 3, because then you have to deal with the 5, the 9, and the 7. So the 3 to the 4 and the 4 to the 5 both have a little work. Yeah, notice he stayed on the inside of the 3, very aware that if he gets past it, then he's got a lot more work for himself.
That's so he can keep that natural, excuse me, so he can keep that natural angle on the 4, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Now he can probably come 2 rails with the 4, right? Just wants to stay up on the left side of the table. You know, he's so good on the 3, though, he might have a different plan. Yeah, I felt like this is great. Now he can just come around the 6. Unless he's a little too straight. Does he have to draw this to the right long rail and out above the 6? Going forward. Yeah, absolutely perfect.
Federer's 4 shots away from getting himself to the hill.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, obviously a few good things happening for Gorst early on in this match, but he's done an amazing job at keeping Shaw handcuffed. Just stayed in total control the entire match to this point. And you know what, Frank? It never seems to fail.
Every time this week.
It's always the way it is in the world of commentary or punditry. The curse is real. Jayson Shaw is thrilled.
That's what we were saying earlier, Scott. You know, chipping away. One mistake now. There's some Gorst being on the hill to Jayson having 3.
It's a great point, because when Jayson played the safe behind the 8 last game, and I thought it was like maybe a little subjective, you're exactly right. What Gorst has done to Shaw, Shaw can do to Gorst. All you can do is one ball at a time.
All right, that's 8-3 on the score.
What's up, everybody? This is Dave from Classic Billiards down here in South Florida. We do things a little bit differently here compared to your old pool hall. It doesn't smell like mothballs. It's not exactly a library. And nobody's shushing you like this is church. We're all about having fun, eating chicken wings, drinking beer, and knocking some balls around. And don't let that mistake you. We still got the skills, baby. So if you're ever down in South Florida, come check us out at Classics.
Jeremy Jones just texted me. He is confirmed he will be doing the semis and the finals. Frank will be here in production, doing everything he does. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Keep your eye on the 2. Keep your eye on the 2.
What's up, everybody? This is Dave from
Friendly little bump from the 5. Yeah, you just really can't feel like he's going to falter here. The 7 that jumped out on him last rack, he just caught the inside of the point. Gives us an idea. These are pro cut pockets on the beautiful diamond table, but it gives us an idea of how they've tightened up over the last 4 days. And this is the mercy of what Shaw is left with in the alternate break format. You cannot control your opponent's destiny. And Gorst has plans to get on the hill. Nine games to 3. Gorst in the lead. Our buddy Brad Silver sat in the booth with us for the last 3.5 days and has really done a great job. You'll be listening to more of his commentary in the future, I guarantee you that. Is this the last break we will see from Jayson Shaw this event? Quite possibly. Gorst, with ball in hand and an open table. Don't have to go to the side with the 2. You can just fall in a line to the lower right corner. Really get you to the 3 the right way. There's no problem with the side, but the 6 might be an issue going to it. A lot of these great players tend to use the sides only when they really need them. The corners lend to a better cue ball. Oftentimes, now he can pinch back if he'd like. Yeah, I'm a little surprised this was the only concern about going to the side. It felt like you could get out of line just a little bit and struggle coming to the 3. I don't know if he was even going to the side, maybe trying to just get tighter to the corner. Yeah, just wants to stay above the pink 4 here.
A little bit of a backwards cut here now on the 4, Scott.
Yeah, and that'll get it done, though. I think he's close to it, Frankie, and happy about it. He can stun over 1 rail with a low outside ball. In this match, getting real close to being completed. FEDOR GORST been working all week. Booth number 258 out here. If you're in the area, go see him. Say hello. He's got his own cue line, 60. Check it out. That's what he's playing with. Also some very good content on YouTube and his socials.
Yes, I've been doing some commentary for FEDOR also. Looks like the sun's starting to set here on Jayson's time in the tournament.
Yeah, Gorst with big plans here this week. Sometimes you just get the feeling of a player that sticks out a little bit more than others, and it was him for me this week. I felt like he was extra hungry. Looked refreshed, looked like he was rested. And really, besides the 7, Frank, I don't think there's been anything that he has done wrong other than maybe a wayward jump shot, but looked extremely classy in this match.
Yeah, he played a very strong set.
Leading 8-0 at one point. Credit to Shaw, he's held himself well this whole match. Nothing, absolutely nothing, has gone his way. But you've got to tip your hat to the man at the table. He will be moving on. Gorst with the win, 10-3.
All right, with FEDOR making that with FEDOR making that win. FEDOR will get the winner of Eklat, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Scott and I are going to take a little break right now, but we're going to leave FSR and Eklat here for you to watch. We'll be back here in a little bit.